friends? It's another episode of Badass Movie Time. Only today I thought I'd do something a little different. I'm going to show you guys some more video games. I told you guys I have a bunch of crates with video games in them. So let's get right into it. I don't know what's in here. This is gonna be all off the top of my head. It's looking like we got some Dreamcast and GameCube. I got my little fat son here sleeping. He's gonna watch the live. He's my audience. We're watching the end of the fucking world. Might not be the best show to show 3-month-old, but I don't know, man. I was watching Tales from the Crypt when I was his age, so. Alright. I ended up okay, I think. I love going through this old stuff. I don't really collect games. You guys saw what I've been playing for the last 5 or 6 years. This is all stuff from when I was way younger. When I was in the military, we bought a lot of games. Soldiers have a lot of extra money. They don't make that much, but you're young and stupid, and you have a paycheck every month. So, anyways, this is a lot of stuff from when I was younger. Looking like at the top, at least. So much like my movies, I'm a bargain buyer on games too. But this disc, my dad worked at EA Sports when I was a kid. We had Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo that I played a lot when I was younger. But when he finally got the PlayStation, he got a Japanese PlayStation. So you would have to prop... I don't know where that is. I might show you guys my game systems here. I have a pretty big game system collection from him working for video games, but... This disc, you would prop the lid open, because the old PlayStation had the flip lid that you push the button and the lid would pop open. You'd take a paper clip, and then you'd put this disc in first, and it would turn it so it could read English games. So it was very cool. My mom was pissed when he got that. She was so excited to have a PlayStation. She's like, we can't play this shit. And then I got a Dreamcast for like $20 at a comic book store, and it came with a web browser. We got some PC games. I've never been much of a PC gamer, but I really liked Diablo 2 when I was like in junior high. Our feature-length movies trailer, the original Diablo. Got some horror movie sounds. Then we got StarCraft. I liked StarCraft. I liked Diablo 2, and that was about it for PC. Oh, Age of Empires 2 was a shit too. Okay, so my Dreamcast collection, most of them is Resident Evil. But other than Resident Evil, I really loved Eternal Darkness. This was a used game pickup, but this is cool. This is very heavily based off of like H.P. Lovecraft type stuff. My first game I got was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. We thought it was so cool that you could hook up your Link core, your Game Boy Advance could hook up to it, and you could control certain aspects of the game with it. And this was like a multiplayer Final Fantasy game, so we'd go over to my friend Dax and we'd play this and Smash Brothers Melee a lot. On the Nintendo 64, I was a big fan of Rogue Squadron. This wasn't as good, but there was a cheat where you could drive a Buick around in space. I thought that was cool. And then I played a lot of Battalion Wars. This is a fun like small scale RTS type game. While we're doing Nintendo, one of my favorite systems was the Wii. And it was funny because I bought the Wii and it came with Wii Sports. This is pretty much all I played on the Wii. More than anything, Wii Bowling and Wii Golf I fucking loved, especially when I lived in the dorms. I had Brawl. I don't think this game works anymore. I think I actually threw the disc away, so I don't even know why I have the case still. It's probably garbage. Mario Kart with the little steering wheel. That was a lot of fun to play. Zelda. This is like the only game I ever bothered to beat on the Wii. Played a lot of House of the Dead 2 and 3. And then I bought this to play with my sister. And we got so frustrated because you could run into each other and stuff. I only played this game once with my sister for like an evening, and we decided we're never playing this again. Like, we fought so much, and we were adults when that came out, so it's kind of funny that we were so mad at one another while we were playing that. I got a gun to go with House of the Dead. Got a little Charizard figure my friend Brian gave me from Japan. One of my favorite game systems when I was a kid was the Nintendo 64, so I have quite a few. My first game was... oh, it might be in the box. Revenge. I had WCW NWO Revenge. And so I got WrestleMania 2000, which was a lot of fun. I like that you can make custom wrestlers in this, so it was like making your own fighting game almost. My friends and I would spend a lot of time making wrestlers on, especially on this. It'd be fun to look at what I have on there. Big Zelda fan. Ocarina of Time was great, and then my mom got me the gold edition with the hologram. Like, look how fucking pimp that is. Majora's Mask was great. My Uncle Scott and my Uncle Mark, my dad's brothers, also worked for game companies, so I got a lot of games. My Uncle Scott's, the final game company he worked for was 3DO. I don't know if they're even still a company anymore, but Army Men was great. That was a fun game. Some great... Nintendo 64 had some great platformers. Banjo-Kazooie was wonderful, but I actually am a huge fan of Donkey Kong 64. A lot of people don't like this game, and they make fun of this game. I love this game. And I remember when I finally beat it, it was a hard game to beat. You have to beat the original Donkey Kong. You have to beat the levels. There's 4 levels on the original Donkey Kong, the arcade version. You have to beat that twice. So you have to beat 8 levels of Donkey Kong. You have to get the donkey stacked twice, the Kong stacked twice, to fight the final boss. So I remember I got this when I was like in 7th grade. I didn't beat this game until I was like a senior in high school. I don't know if I ever beat Super Mario 64. That's a long game. It's fun. Mario Kart 64. Always been a big fan of Mario Kart. I got this when I was 13. I played the shit out of Duke Nukem 0 Hour. This is a really hard game. When I was younger, I had a cheat where I could kill everything with one hit, which was cool because it got me through the game. I'm not a big fan of cheating, but this game was so difficult and it was so hard to get through it. So I would do that one hit thing, but then it would suck like on a boss fight, because then the boss fights would be too easy. But I don't know if I could even do that as an adult. It's the controls are hard. And then probably my most played game, one of my favorite games of all time, Resident Evil 2. I loved when this came to Nintendo because, once again, I had that Japanese PlayStation, so it's kind of hard to play PlayStation games. So going back right before, one of my favorite baseball games. This is really hard to play. We tried playing this like within the last 10 years or so. I had the N64 hooked up. King Griffey, it's so slow paced, man. It's so hard to play. Stick with Sega Genesis baseball games. Got some FIFA, never been a fan. There's a lot of stuff that my dad had that I just kind of saved. I have a way more Super Nintendo games, but I guess we'll have to find them later. But Shaq Fu is amazing. It's not as good on the Super Nintendo. It was way better on Sega Genesis. There's way more characters for some reason. So, while we're doing Nintendo still, I was a big fan of the DS. The Nintendo DS I still play the Nintendo DS. I never got the 3DS. So, like, when I went to the Middle East and stuff, I remember playing the DS. Actually, I got that after. I don't know, I played a lot of Game Boy back in the day. Got some Square Enix stuff, Contra's a lot of fun. Once again, Mario Kart. This game's great. This is actually one of the last games I bought for the DS. Big fan of Scribblenauts, man. Scribblenauts is so great. Castlevania. This is great. I got really far into this. I'm like towards the end of this game, and it'd be nice to beat. I never beat that, and then I also Final Fantasy 3 was another RPG I played a lot on there. I played it. My guys are so beefed up, and I'm like at the final boss of that game, and every time I go to do it, it's like a 45-minute process. In a Game Boy game, it's like kind of hard to manage. Another great RPG, and then you gotta have the Chrono Trigger. What do we got over here? We got a mixture of Dreamcast, PC, and PlayStation. Big Mega Man Legends fan. The PlayStation had a lot of great RPGs that a lot of people don't know about. Vandal Hearts being one of my favorite. That's kind of like Shining Force style, and Konami made it. What's wrong, baby? I'm almost done. Power Stone on the Dreamcast is a great fighting game. Shenmue. I heard that they're doing a downloadable version of this soon on the PS4, which I'm really excited about. I talked about Age of Empires. Warcraft 3, one of my first PlayStation games. My Uncle Mark gave me this, The Lost World. I remember we had cheats for this too. I think they're still in here, actually. Don't cry, baby. yeah, I had my little cheats from Tips and Tricks. And so this would skip you to the other levels, and there's a level where you're just running from the T-Rex, and it's so hard. Shadow Madness. This is a great Final Fantasy. This was trying to compete with Final Fantasy VII. It failed. Chrono Cross. I actually like Charlie and I actually like Chrono Cross better than Chrono opinion. Got a bunch of Final Fantasy games: Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Anthology, Zombie Revenge, Mega Man Legends, one of my all-time favorite PlayStation games, and D2, very underrated and great. Hey guys, I talked long enough. I'll talk to y'all soon. There's there's 3 more crates in my closet, so we'll be back soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Sorry. I was just showing off my video game collection. I got it all up here, guys. We got the 360. I have a lot of PS2 games. DS, PlayStation. Those are all my Metal Gear Solids, Zone Enders. Some of my favorite games as an adult. And then, since we're showing off, we got the Resident Evil stuff. And then my other game. So, cool.